Hello and welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing all right. Why are we doing this?
Why are we talking in a hushed tone?
Yeah.
I don't know. Tim, we just saw a movie together.
We did.
Like the good old days.
I haven't been to a motion picture house with you in a dog's age. Yeah.
And we went to a matinee together.
Yeah, it was great. There was a bunch of weirdos there.
You were so mad that there were teenagers that were apparently truant, not going to school.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't go to work today, Tom, because I was supposed to be in Aruba, but I'm not in Aruba right now.
Oh, today was supposed to be the day?
Yeah, I was supposed to leave last night. Anyway, whatever. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not in Aruba. It's fine. Everything's fine. Mm-hmm. Everything's great. So instead of that, I went and saw Cloverfield with you and a bunch of goddamn truant teens.
You were getting so mad that they kept going in and out of the theater. Yeah. I didn't even notice.
Why can't these teens just sit down and watch it? It was a short film. It was like 90 minutes.
I didn't even notice. At the end of the movie, I turned to you and I was like, it's pretty good. And you were like, except these damn teenagers kept getting up in the middle of it. Why can't you just sit there and watch the movie?
Tom, we were in the first row of like the back section.
Yeah,
right?
It was great. Lots of leg room.
Lots of leg room, sure. But every time one of these dang teens gets up to go to the bathroom for the 15th time or to go make sext a Snapchat to somebody or whatever they're doing, they walk right by us.
Yeah.
And then they're coming in and out, and I'm always uneasy. I always think shit's gonna go down in a movie theater when I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. It's too dark in there. But like, if it's not dark, I'm mad too.
Mm-hmm.
I need to. Is it feasible in a New York City apartment to build your own screening room?
Sure, Tim. You live in a 1-bedroom apartment with your girlfriend. I'm sure you have plenty of room. Get rid of that bedroom. Turn that bedroom into a screening room. You guys could sleep somewhere else.
Yeah, a pull-out couch.
Yeah.
They've had these things for years.
Or put a tent in the living room. It could be like you're camping every day.
Yeah. Well, we could build a fort.
You guys could be spending your days screening movies in your own private theater, and then spend your nights camping out under the stars.
Yeah, we could.
Quite a life.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Either that or Murphy bed.
Yeah, but Murphy beds, as we've discussed, are expensive and tough to find.
I feel like I can make my own Murphy bed.
You can't make your own. Tim, nothing you've done has led me to believe you could make your own Murphy bed. You haven't made anything, let alone a Murphy bed.
Yeah, but like... You need to be.
It's not like, oh, well, I did build that kitchen table and that couch. You haven't done anything like that.
I know, but it'll be a good way to learn.
No, it's too complicated.
You need to learn on something you're passionate about, and I'm certainly passionate about Murphy beds because you can hide in it when things get rough and the fuzz come. Yeah.
Yeah, but you would get frustrated, Tim.
I don't know about that.
You would get frustrated, or you build a Murphy bed that was an instant death trap.
First
time you tried, it would snap your neck clean.
I would just be afraid of in the middle of the night, it would somehow open and close rapidly.
Yeah.
Just like for hours.
That's why you can't put a motor in those things.
Beaten to a bloody pulp by my own bed.
Yeah, it'd be a real Frankenstein story.
Yeah.
You'd be
and I'm such a sound sleeper, too. You
wouldn't even know till you were dead.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of New York City, Tim, did you see the news as of let's say the 11th?
Yeah.
Not to put a stamp on when these episodes happen, but as of 2 days ago, you won't get arrested for open containers in New York City anymore for drinking outside.
Tom, I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I've had open containers in...
what?
And this is only Manhattan, but I've had them in
God, you're
Manhattan.
lucky this isn't 48 hours ago. I could have made a citizen's arrest.
Well, here's the thing. I was never at risk. You weren't at risk.
Mm-hmm.
This is a way to just like... for the cops to, just harass people that are making trouble, right? or that they think are making trouble.
Yeah, because they can still
I don't think they're making trouble.
They'll still give you a summons for it.
Yeah,
it's just that they won't go through all the.
People are drinking wine in the Shakespeare in the Park in the Philharmonic and stuff.
Right,
but the cops weren't busting that up. Why is that?
They should go in there guns blazing.
There was a raid at Shakespeare in the Park.
That'd be great.
One time, a friend of mine's mother, real garbage family,
and somebody would be somebody could stand up and go, "Something's rotten in the state of Denmark."
This lady went to Shakespeare in the Park because, like, I don't know, like Jessica Alba was in it or something. You know how they do that?
Yeah,
like,
they get. I don't think it's necessarily like a Jessica Alba, but
it was somebody like real. Like,
usually it's still people with like pretty good acting chops.
Yeah, but like not really sometimes.
Yeah,
like let's say it's like all right. Let's say it's like someone like Jessica Alba.
Okay, it seems normally the names I see, it's like, oh, that person did theater like 30 years ago, but they've been
like
in sitcoms ever since.
What, Tom?
Jonathan Lithgow. He was in Shakespeare in the Park one time.
Yeah, all the stars do it, Tom. Like the Jessica Albas of the world do it sometimes. And this lady went, I was like, how'd it go? Did you enjoy it? And she was like...
There was a raid.
She was like, I really enjoyed it, except I just hate all those Shakespeare plays.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you
what the hell are they saying in them?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't go to a Shakespeare play if you don't like Shakespeare plays. Yeah. Even if Jessica Alba's in it.
Tom, how do you feel about Shakespeare?
I like him.
No, you don't.
Tim, I go to Shakespeare in the Park regardless of whether Jessica Alba's there or not.
You and I went to...
yeah, we went to the Rose Theater, the Globe Theater.
You're a big Shakespeare guy?
Big shaker.
Rose, yeah. That was kind of like... it was fun.
Yeah.
It was cool. But that's like a tourist trap, right?
It's not necessarily a tourist trap, but like one of the big draws there is like you're seeing it in a reenactment of the actual theater, right. And like you're getting as authentic of a experience as you can.
Okay. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, open containers.
Yes.
Will this affect your life in any way?
No, because I don't drink outside anyway.
I feel like I'm past the point where like I would be psyched. There was a point in my life where I'd be psyched about that news.
Yeah.
Actually, no, because it's not legal.
No, you'll still get a court summons. So not even just like a ticket, like, oh, you paid. It's like, no, you got to show up in court.
And the cop also gets to drink the rest of your
drink.
What? Yeah.
Well, that's where I would draw the line.
Bro, now I got to pound it, bro.
Yeah.
Now I got to pound it. Hand it over. I got to pound your drink, bro.
That's the law, bro.
Yeah. They're doing it. They really should have enacted it March 18th.
Why is that?
Because St. Patrick's Day. They really could.
Oh yeah, it's one more year of.
Yeah, rounding up, get that paddy wagon out one more year, and just throw them all back there.
Oh yeah, throw all the patties back there. Is that what you're saying, Tim?
Is that what paddy wagon means?
I think that's where it originally came from.
Oh no, that's terrible. We'll bleep that.
But but St. Patrick's Day is like another day where it's like it's similar to.
That's why I don't think I think this whole thing is disingenuous. Like I think it's a good thing that they're decriminalizing, right?
Right.
Is that technically what decriminalizing is? Like,
I guess that it's not
arresting.
Yeah, not
an
arrestable offense.
They're doing the same with public urination. Yeah. Right.
And that was a big one because you would be labeled as a sex offender.
I don't know how true that is.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that I think. I mean, I was never confident enough to test that.
Well, I think it was just that you get hit with public indecency.
Yeah,
and there's no line between he was running around with his willy out, showing it to people, and just he was relieving himself.
They also got rid of arresting people for littering, which I didn't know you could get arrested for littering.
Yeah.
But I still think if you litter, you should be locked up.
It seems like a lot of...
How hard is it not to litter?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy not to litter.
It's not fun or cool or anything. It's just entitled. It's just somebody will clean it up. Either that or I'll just live in a filth hole for the rest of my whole life.
Well, that's kind of the agreement we've all made by living here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish that that they got rid of, like, whenever we're over in England or Ireland or Scotland, it's so nice that you can walk outside with your beer when it's a nice day out.
Right.
And
without being in like a cage.
Right. And I'm talking about like a bar or a pub, just being able to go outside and walk. Like, we have that here, but there's very strict rules about the zoning of it.
Yeah. Also, I'm not a big fan of, like, it doesn't seem like it would be a utopia if it was like, you could just walk around on the street drinking.
Everybody be drunk all the time.
Yeah.
We can't control ourselves. We can't handle ourselves.
No, we need limits.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, it's good that they're not going to arrest people because they only arrested certain, we're dancing around an issue here, but they only arrested certain kinds of people for this, right?
Yeah, they arrested minorities.
Yeah, exactly.
For drinking, not white guys like me and you.
Yeah, I mean, they might have written us a ticket, but they never wrote me a ticket.
I never did it, Tim. I followed the law.
I didn't. Like, how cool is it to just sit on a stoop, a New York City stoop, and drink? I used to drink in Tompkins Park all the time. And at Tompkins Square Park. And I think the reason why I didn't get in trouble there is because, like, 2 benches down, people were, like, shooting heroin.
Right, and selling it.
Yeah, and it was like, well, if they're going to arrest me, there's something's going on.
So did you intentionally, when you decide to drink outside, be like, we'll go find some heroin addicts to drink near?
Yeah, you always want to go near somebody committing a higher level crime.
I guess that.
If I'm going to rob a bank, I'm going to make damn sure that somebody's murdering somebody next door to that bank.
That might backfire on you.
Why?
Well, what if they come to respond to the murder?
Yeah, and then they're going to be like, oh, let's catch this.
Yeah, while we're here.
The first thing they teach you as a police officer, don't take your eyes off the prize.
One crime at a time. Tim, this week we're talking about civilian space travel. It's almost upon us.
Yeah.
There's a lot of news going on.
It's not just for Lance Bass anymore.
No. You don't have to go to Russia, and you don't have to be...
You can just be a run-of-the-mill person with $750,000 to burn.
Yeah. So there's 3 guys, 3 billionaires, having a space race.
Okay. Yes.
The first one, Richard Branson, the world's most famous virgin.
Right. He's come a long way. For a handsome guy who's
afraid
of doing the deed.
He's come a long way, but still hasn't gotten laid.
He's rich, he's famous, he's handsome. Ladies, what is it going to take?
He's got a hot air balloon.
Yeah. He's got mega stores.
Yeah.
All over the world.
It almost makes me think, what am I doing saving up for this hot air balloon if this guy can't make it happen?
Yeah.
So you got him. You have the smelliest man in the car industry, Elon Musk.
Musk.
He has SpaceX.
SpaceX.
Before you go to space, you got to learn the SpaceX.
Is that what it is? No, it's SpaceX, right?
Yeah, it is.
Does he do it so it sounds like space sex? Because he's like a weirdo, right? Because like, aren't the
Tim, just because the other guy's a virgin doesn't mean that he's a sex maniac.
No. Weren't they making each class of what's his car? The
Tesla.
The Tesla.
Yeah, they're gonna spell out sex.
Sexy. The first one is S.
Yeah.
The next one is E.
Well,
class.
first they'll spell out sex, and then sexy, and then
it's like when you're playing horse in basketball against somebody, and they get HOR, and everybody goes like,
That's not the way whore is spelled.
Yeah, I know, but when you're in 4th grade, it is.
Um,
When you're 8, you don't know, like, W. Why would W be in this word?
so you've got Elon Musk with SpaceX,
Uh-huh.
and then you've got America's favorite clown, Jeff Bezos,
Jeff Bezos from the Amazon, from the rainforest.
the friend of Wonder Woman.
What?
Well, he's from the Amazon.
Yeah. No. He started the
The only
Rainforest
man.
Cafe. That's how he made his millions.
Billions.
Billions.
Yeah.
Selling hamburgers that... Now, the conceit of the Rainforest Cafe is not that they're
That
selling...
everything you're buying is from the rainforest.
Right?
No.
No.
It's that they give like 0.5% of profit to, some save the
That's
rainforest.
nice. Okay. That's more than I've ever given to a rainforest.
I bet if you did the math, it's not. I think.
I bet just like paying my taxes.
Yeah, you're doing more.
And I'm sure the Rainforest Cafe
No.
pays no taxes.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah. Suck it, Jeff Bezos.
So Jeff Bezos has Blue Origin. That's his company.
Blue Origin?
Blue Origin.
I don't like that name.
So you got Blue Origin,
Is that
SpaceX, and
'cause
Virgin Galactic.
The flights originate on the blue planet?
That's one way to interpret it.
That's how I choose to interpret it, Tom.
Yeah, blue is spelled BLEW, though.
Oh, like the cheese.
No, that's BLEU. This is BLEW.
Oh. Blue planet.
Like I blew my nose.
Yeah. Let's blow this joint.
Let's blow this origin. We blew that origin, and now we're in space.
Doesn't really add up to me.
Yeah, but it makes sense. He tried to save the rainforest. Nobody wanted in. He's like, all right, screw you guys.
The story of Jeff Bezos. Accurately told.
No, this Blue Origin's been around for a while, but it's been like very cloaked in secrecy.
Right.
And this week was the first time he kind of gave like a big press tour and was like, all right, here's what we got cooking up. And according to him, 2 years from now, they'll be doing their first civilian space flights.
And I hesitate to be this guy.
Uh-huh.
But who cares?
You don't want to go to space?
Not in the way that I'd love to go to
Not
the
in
moon.
the way they... The moon. Tim, only like 20 guys have ever been to the moon.
I know it. I want to be 21.
Yeah.
The
moon, it takes a few days to get to the moon.
Well, this
too.
is my problem. Like, you're going to have to pay a ton of money.
Yeah.
There's no destination. You go... It's
space.
I know, but like
The final frontier.
from what I understand,
Uh-huh.
you just go up like high enough that it's technically space, and they go like, "Hello, we're in space," and you're like,
Oh, there's a man up there waiting.
yeah, he's standing waving.
Yeah,
There's a platform up there. He's floating around in some bubble.
What's the platform attached to?
It's like the Jetsons. It goes all the way down.
Oh.
That's what's taking them so long, building this platform. They shoot you up there, and you sit. You're strapped in like in a plane, right? It's a spaceship, but it's a plane.
Right.
And then
what do you think it's gonna be?
well, here's the thing. It's like, hey, we're gonna fly you to Europe, and then like they're like, hey, you want to go to Paris? Yeah, I'd love to go to Paris. Paris seems great. Okay, now get on this plane, and they take off, and then they like do a loop around the Eiffel Tower, like from like 30,000 feet. They're like, hey, we're at Paris. All right, back home.
Yeah, but that's because there's things to see in Paris, Tim. There's nothing to see in space.
How do you know? There's all sorts of galaxies, the planets.
Well, you can't get anywhere near them.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, who cares about this?
But you don't want to get at least like a little taste of it?
Leave that to the boring man who everybody's so impressed that he spent a year in space.
Yeah, there's another thing. For some reason, Tim really has it out for Scott Kelly, the astronaut who just returned from spending a year in space.
No, I think he's great. I love this guy.
Do you think he's a hero, Tim?
Well, what did he do? That was heroic. How heroic is what he did?
Hey, I like my heroes not to get caught.
No. I like my it's. What do you think? Astronaut Scott Kelly is a hero?
I don't think he's necessarily a hero, but what he did was courageous.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
But like a hero, you got to save somebody or defeat a villain.
Defeat a villain. Yeah.
I mean, if when he came down, he was like, guys, you should have seen that shit up there. The alien from Aliens came.
Yeah.
And I defeated it. We'd be like, great, you're a hero. Let's throw you a parade.
Yeah. He doesn't have a costume or a cowl or a cape.
Oh, I mean, he has a spacesuit. That's a pretty good costume. That's about as close to a costume as you're going to get.
So. I mean, I just feel like everybody's fawning. Like,
I
he was
mean,
doing
I
his
guess
job.
so. What else is there that anyone wears that is as close to like a superhero outfit as astronauts, what they wear?
I mean, yeah, I guess because it's functional.
It's functional and it's got a helmet.
Yeah. Well, the helmet isn't. Like, you never see
a helmet isn't necessary.
No, you never see a superhero with a helmet.
Sure you do.
Who?
Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah, Iron Man.
Yeah. All the men. All the mans.
Yeah.
Spider-Mans.
Spacemans.
But you don't like Scott Kelly.
No, I don't dislike him. I'm just sick of hearing about him. Because, like, here's the thing. He went into space and, like, did experiments and stuff?
Yeah. He was up there for a year.
Yeah, but, like...
The longest anyone's been up in space.
It was courageous, but it was also, like... The threat. Like...
He wasn't up there to stop threats.
No, but, like, it was dangerous what he did.
Yeah.
But also, like, you got that whole... like hundreds of people at all time monitoring everything about you.
Yeah, but if something goes screwy, it's not like, well, get me down. You can't just open up a escape hatch and
Sure, but if something goes screwy while I'm driving on the Long Island Expressway,
yeah,
there's not a team
they're gonna be able to get to
hundreds
you
of people
a lot quicker than they're going to be able to get to him.
Yeah, but like it'd be like if 100 people were like driving my car from command center, like, yeah, then like nothing would happen to my car. Nothing would ever go screwy.
What if an alien showed up, though?
I don't think Scott Kelly how much training does he get to ward off aliens?
Minimal. That's what makes it so scary.
No, he probably gets a lot of secret training.
Yeah, that they can't tell us about.
Yeah. They're like, oh no, if it bursts out of your first mate's stomach. Yeah,
there's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Seal the hatch. So that's always just a solution. Seal the hatch.
Yeah. No,
seal the hatch and then blow the hatch.
Yeah. When in doubt, seal the hatch, blow it.
Blow it. Watch the
That's
alien
why it's
get
called
sucked into space.
Blue Origin, because you're always blowing the hatch.
Always blowing the hatch. Time we blow the hatch on this Origin.
So how much does this cost?
They haven't really rolled out pricing, but the estimate is about for Blue Origin, maybe about the price of a car.
What kind of car are we talking about?
Like a sedan, like an inexpensive car.
So like 40 grand?
Yeah.
US?
Maybe even less. And it will probably go down very quickly.
Okay, now let me ask you this. What do I get for this?
You get... Well, the difference is I don't think SpaceX has really laid out like how they're just big right now trying to get the rockets to be reusable.
Okay.
But
this is not answering my question whatsoever.
But they're gonna I believe that they're doing this.
I'm paying $30,000 to $40,000. What do I get?
Well, I'm trying to explain to you what the difference is gonna be.
A difference between what?
Between the different companies, the experiences they're going to offer.
The price is going to be different too. Because I know right now Virgin costs like $1 million.
Yeah.
So let's focus on Blue Origin here.
I'm telling you what you're going to get for that money. Because
you're talking about reusable rockets.
Yeah, Tim, because
I'm going one time. I don't need to reuse anything.
They need to reuse it. So Virgin Atlantic is going to be like an actual plane that will go up.
All right.
So much better takeoff and landing because it's not a rocket.
Right.
It's just flying up. And I believe you get more time in space there. More
what do you do
weightless
when you're in
time.
Space?
You take off your seatbelt and you float around. You fly.
They let you take off your seatbelt?
Yeah. For a certain portion of the trip, and it's like 0G time, everybody take off your seatbelts and anything else you might want. And we
your
all...
clothes?
Yeah. Tim, you're paying $1 million to get up there. What are they going to do? Kick you out into space?
Oh, you know what I figured they're probably going to do? I just figured it out.
What?
There's a tip to all the listeners that might take them up on this.
Uh-huh.
If you wear glasses, bring one of those elastic straps to keep your glasses on your face. Because once you get up there and you realize, oh no, my glasses are gonna
they're gonna charge you an arm and a leg
Richard
for
Branson comes in. He's like, oh yeah, you need those elastics to go around your glasses. You know, there's another $50,000.
Yeah. Well, lucky for you, you always wear the elastics around your glasses.
They don't call me the ruthless virgin for nothing.
He's saying that, not you.
Yeah,
okay.
That's Richard Branson. Can you say? I can't do an Australian accent. Can you say that?
They don't call me the ruthless virgin for nothing.
That was Cockney, but I liked it. I liked it anyway.
So that's how that's gonna work. But for I believe SpaceX, but definitely for Blue Origin, they're basically just gonna like where they would put the nuclear warhead on a missile.
Yeah.
They're going to put you in there instead. So it's just like at the tip of the missile, there's like a round section with all windows and seats.
Okay.
Kind of like an amusement park ride where you sit in a circle, but you're all facing outwards.
Okay. And it's all made of glass, like the Great Glass Elevator?
No, it's not all made of glass. It'd be extremely dangerous. But there is
tempered glass.
There are tempered glass windows that you can see out of.
How big are they?
Not as big as you'd like them to be.
See,
I think
that's a thing.
But bigger than a porthole.
And we're talking. This is Blue Origin.
Blue Origin.
Okay. And so this is gonna cost like.
I think like $20,000 is what they're aiming for.
You think you could get a car for $20,000, Tom?
A used car, Tim. I didn't say it had to be new.
All right, so $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
How much time is this? What do I get?
You're only in 0G for like 5 minutes.
So 5 minutes of fun?
Well, the whole thing's gonna be fun though. You get to blast off in a damn rocket.
Okay, so
but that's why you only get a few minutes.
Launch pad to what are they
to splashdown?
Yeah,
probably I would guess an hour
for $20,000.
Yeah,
it's insane.
But you got to go to space.
You've got to go to space.
You've got to go. Everybody's raving about it. No, you get to blast off. I think it's only such a short time because when you blast off, then the capsule detaches and the rocket falls back down. They fill it up with gasoline to go up again. And the capsule, they're like, well, if we blasted you off any higher, the capsule might just go flying into space.
Ooh, now see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want. That's the experience I want.
So we've got to we're going to blast you just high enough that you're up there for a little bit, and then gravity will naturally bring you back down.
It seems like it's a sweet spot that's hard to hit. Because I'll tell you this, Tom.
Mm-hmm. It is.
There's the King Dakar roller coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. And they shoot you out with magnetic induction. Is that what it's called? Magnetic
yes.
something?
Although, do they use that or do they use hydraulics?
Regardless, doesn't matter.
Well, geez, Tim, you're never going to be a rocket scientist with that attitude.
It's not hydraulics because when you come back, it catches you with magnets.
Oh, okay.
Because you go straight up an incline really, really quickly. It's the tall. At one time was the tallest roller coaster in the world, and sometimes they shoot you up. They shoot up all the cars.
Yeah,
and it doesn't make it, and it comes back down backwards.
Right.
I can imagine shooting you how many miles up?
At least 1 or 2.
Yeah, you got to hit a sweet spot.
Yeah.
And I don't trust Jeff
it's more,
Bezos to
I think
do
it's
this.
maybe like 50, 30 miles.
Tom, you're supposed
maybe
to
10?
You're supposed to do the research.
Look, I didn't know you're going to ask all. This guy's been spending billions of dollars figuring out all this stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm supposed to do it on my budget.
On a podcaster's budget?
It took him 5 years just to figure out how high up space was. Nobody had ever measured it before.
Yeah, I know. And his tape measure budget alone.
Jeez, it's unbelievable.
Most of them tap out at 10, 15 feet.
Yeah, so he had to tie a lot of them together. Yeah. Luckily, he ran Amazon and he just made a big bulk order.
This episode is brought to you by Loot Crate. Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box service for epic geek and gamer items and pop culture gear. Tom, you love all this stuff.
I do.
For less than $20 a month, you get 4 to 8 items that include licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, unique one-of-a-kind items, and more. So make sure to head to lootcrate.com/everything and enter code EVERYTHING to save $3 on any new subscription. Tom, I'm going to tell you something you might not know.
Okay.
Loot Crate is more than just a subscription service. It's an entire community of fans that share their experience and interact with each other around the unboxing of each month's crate. Did you know that?
I did. There are hashtags and everything.
Okay. Did you know they guarantee $40 plus? That's more than $40
Yeah.
in value in every crate. Sometimes it's a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Also, every month, there's a different theme, and all items are curated around that theme. Surely you did not know that, Tom.
Tim, that part I knew.
Did you know this? That previous crates have included items from franchises like Star Wars, Marvel, The Walking Dead, The Legend of Zelda, and many more?
I have some of those, yeah.
Oh, damn it. Okay. Well, Tom, here's something maybe your numbskull couldn't even have imagined.
Okay.
The theme this month is Versus, celebrating some of the greatest rivalries in pop culture. Dark Knight vs. Man of Steel, Alien vs. Predator, Spock vs. Mirror Universe Spock, Daredevil vs. Punisher. I didn't know that they versed each other, Tom.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn vs. well, everyone, Tom.
Yeah.
Our exclusive items include something you can display, something you can wear, and something you can use. That's 3 things. And don't forget our tea and loot pin.
Okay.
Don't forget it, Tom.
I won't.
Remember, you only have until
Oh, T-shirt.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like tea you drink.
Like, oh, I thought...
That's why I was confused.
Thought maybe you thought I meant a golf tee.
No, that didn't even cross my mind.
Remember, you only have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate, and whenever the cutoff happens, that's it. It's over. Tom, stop sleeping on it. This is a bunch of nerd stuff that you love. So go to lootcrate.com/everything and enter code EVERYTHING to save $3 on your new subscription today. Do it today.
Do you love books but find that you never have the time to read them?
Yes.
Well, it was rhetorical, Tim. Well, Audible.com has the perfect solution. Get audiobooks and listen to those books you've been meaning to read while on the go.
I hadn't thought of that, Tom.
Tim, at the gym, during your commute, Audible.com provides over 180,000 titles from the leading audiobook publishers, broadcasters, entertainers, magazine and newspaper publishers, and business information providers. Their app is free and works on iPhones, iPad, Android, and Windows Phone. Whatever phone you got, if you bought it this century, it will work
Tom,
probably.
I know this. You keep telling me all this stuff that I know.
You can also download and listen on your Kindle Fire and over 500 MP3 players. And unlike a streaming or rental service with Audible, you own your books. So you can access your books anytime and anywhere right from your smartphone.
Take them to the grave with you. That's what I say.
Audible.com also has a great listen guarantee. If you decide you don't like a book you choose, no worries. You can exchange any book you aren't happy with for another title anytime, no questions asked. I'm going to recommend this week. You recommended 11/22/63 last week. I'm going to recommend the first book in the Dark Tower series, because that just got put in production. Next Stephen King movie. Adaptation with, how do you say his name?
Idris Elba?
No, I meant Matthew McConaughey.
It's McConaughey.
McConaughey. So read the book by listening to the book before the movie. And just for listeners, audible.com is offering a free 30-day trial membership. Go to audiblepodcast.com/everything today to start your free trial today. Again, show your support for the Complete Guide to Everything and get your free 30-day trial at audiblepodcast.com/everything. Tim, my researchers have come back to me after the break, And I can confirm that it's 62 miles above the surface of the Earth. That's where it brings you. Not quite high enough to reach orbital space, but high enough to experience weightlessness and see the curvature of the Earth.
So a dog went higher than I can potentially go.
Tim, yeah, but they...
And he did it for free.
It's true, but only one dog got to do it.
Yeah, but...
But don't you think the other dogs would have liked the opportunity to pay their way up? How high up did that dog go?
They sent him into orbit.
Oh, the Russian dog.
Laika.
Yeah, that dog never came back, Tim.
Well, now
he's up there now. Probably word out of his mind. Desperately trying. He's been up there for what, 60 years?
Yeah, I think he's chilling.
Yeah.
He's like, man, look at the view.
Yeah. Look at all those bones down there.
No, he's got all the bones that he could ever want.
Man,
his own bones.
What a horrible thing to do to any animal. Send him to space.
Yeah.
They are not equipped to understand what is happening when you put them in a rocket.
Different from when, like, you know what? Okay, I want to get a dog.
Uh-huh.
What are the odds that an adoption agency is going to listen to this?
Well, I don't think any adoption agency is like, well, we have to do the necessary background checks to make sure somebody's not adopting a dog with the intent to send it into space.
No, but what I'm saying is when you leave, when somebody leaves for work.
Yeah, you asked me about, off mic, you asked me this about my dog last week.
Yeah, the dog doesn't know what's going on.
No.
Doesn't know where it is. If you put a dog, if you crate your dog,
I don't
Tom,
leave for work, and minutes after I leave, my dog starts floating and doesn't understand why.
Yeah, but she'll figure it out.
No, she'll never figure it.
Or
I can guarantee you, no dog that's gone to space has ever figured out why.
This is my theory about dogs and babies.
Mm-hmm.
When you bring them anywhere,
yeah,
they just assume, well, this is what the rest of my life is going to be.
This is it from here on out.
Yeah, like you bring them to the beach. They're not like, oh, and then we'll go home later. They're just like, oh, so this is what happened. This is now the phase of, like, this is where we wind up.
No, dogs are smart. I don't know about babies. I can't speak for babies.
I think you shoot dogs and babies into space and they'll acclimate pretty.
But dogs...
They're fine with being like, well, this is life now.
Dogs do understand because dogs know, like, that there is an ability.
You're talking about Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey.
Yeah, how'd they get home? If
they weren't even going home, it was a different. They moved across the country.
Yeah,
that family. There's no way.
Well, home is where the family
smell
is.
Them?
Yeah, they use clues. Yeah, Tim. The dogs also. The animals talked in that movie, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, one of them was Michael J. Fox. Okay, Garfield talks, but he doesn't really talk. He just thinks.
Yeah,
I think that might have been one. I think it was some sort of animal telepathy. I think these.
But Garfield can talk.
Some sort of weird sci-fi movie, Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey, where
Garfield can talk to other cats, though, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
John doesn't understand what Garfield.
John doesn't hear Garfield, and
so why is he talking to him?
Odie
so much?
Doesn't either, but. Odie doesn't talk to Garfield, but we don't know. Maybe Odie can talk too.
Yeah, I bet Odie's really got some cutting things to say.
Yeah, I loved Odie when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite characters. I used to watch Garfield just
for
Odie.
The drool was a little unsettling.
It was cute though. It was a cute drool.
Yeah, it was a cute drool.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. What were we talking about?
Sending animals to space.
Oh yeah. It's probably not a good idea.
No.
But like,
but now
if you bought a $20,000 ticket and they were like, oh, for $500 more, you can
bring
Ginger.
your dog. No way. She'd be a pain in the ass up there.
Wouldn't you want her to experience it?
No, I don't care about my dog.
You don't care about your dog's happiness?
No, I don't care about my dog experiencing mind-blowing things. My dog doesn't need to experience things other dogs haven't experienced.
How mind-blowing do you think it'll be?
To go up into space?
Yeah.
Super mind-blowing. Nobody's ever come back from space and gone, eh.
Well, nobody's ever gone to space in the
do you think it's all
cut rate budget way that they're sending you to, quote, space?
Well, no. Nobody's ever gone to space that hasn't gotten paid for it. That guy Scott Kelly, Tim, he was on the clock the whole time he was up there.
That's the other thing.
was-
You know how much overtime you rack up for being on the
my
clock
God,
for 365 straight days?
Over
24 hours a
yeah.
day? That's 16
Holiday
hours
pay.
of time and a half at least.
Yeah. Ugh. It's disgusting to think about. How
Yeah, he's double dipping. And now he's now he's retiring. Oh, he gets to collect his pension, his government pension.
and his space pension.
Yeah.
Not to even
You're not talking. And he gets all those astronaut pens.
all the astronaut pens he could ever want.
Yeah.
Although I did read a thing recently about how space ice cream isn't a real thing. Astronaut ice cream, like the astronauts have never had astronaut ice cream up there.
That's good.
That's
That was
good.
the one. Yeah, because the astronaut ice cream stinks.
It's pretty good. It's not bad. It's one of my favorite astronaut foods,
No, it's fine when you're a kid at the museum.
but not good enough for an astronaut.
Yeah. Sorry, I have respect for our boys in suits.
That's not what
Spacesuits.
they're called.
Men
So-
and women of space persuasion.
So like Scott Kelly, he's not ever gonna fork over any money to go back to space.
No.
Do you think there's like a big conspiracy where space isn't that great, but like the astronauts all like have a gentleman's agreement between each other? Like, well, I'll say it's real great because otherwise nobody will want to go up, or
No, maybe more to be like,
to make everybody else feel bad.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you're part of an exclusive thing, like I'm trying to
Yeah.
think.
Like people who host SNL 5 times.
Yeah, the
The
Five Timers
Five-Timers
Club.
Club.
Yeah. I'm sure it's just like, I hate.
It's just kind of a big pain in the ass.
Yeah.
A lot
I
of
don't
work.
want to host these live broadcasts.
A lot of work. You got to stay up late.
Yeah.
Really not worth the trouble.
You got to do a dress rehearsal and.
That's what they don't tell you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whole thing.
Yeah. You got to write a monologue yourself, deliver it. Shakespearean monologue.
So at what price point would you go into space, Tim?
$50.
$50. That's it.
Tom, to sit in a chair.
Yeah,
For
and
an
go
hour.
to space.
But just to say you've gone to space?
No, not just to say, to experience it. Not everything's just to say you did it.
I've lived in Brooklyn too long.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to Snapchat from there?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Tim. 62 miles up. Snapchat will not work. You can take some pictures to Instagram later.
My only problem is that it's a large expenditure.
You'll have to
money.
tag them TBT though.
Right. Yeah.
Or at the very least later gram.
The only
Mm-hmm.
you don't really get much of an experience. Like, explain to me.
You've never flew it around.
Yeah, but you can do that the way, like Tom Hanks has never been to space, but he got to float around on the set of Apollo 13.
Like the vomit comet.
Yeah.
You're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, I'd pay a lot to go on that vomit comet.
You can go on that. They have that in Vegas. You can just pay and you can just go.
Yeah, what's that? $50?
No, it's more than $50 there too. It's a few $100s.
That seems more cost effective if you if your end goal
Mm-hmm.
is weightlessness. Then why would you spend $20,000 to $40,000 for 5 minutes when you could spend a couple $100?
Because that plane doesn't even have windows in it, whereas the other one you're going to get to see the Earth from space.
No, you're not going to see like the curvature of the
That's
Earth.
what I just said. That it's high enough so you can see the curvature of the Earth.
Really?
Yeah.
Was I really just not listening to you? I was looking at you this whole
Yeah.
time.
No, I said that.
I was really just thinking about what I wanted to say
Yeah.
next.
62 miles up. It's high.
Ah.
It's not high enough to reach orbit, but it's high enough to experience
Well, I'm
weightlessness
sorry, Tom.
and see the curvature of the Earth.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But not like you could see the curvature of the Earth.
But not like that much of a
You're
curve.
not going to see like the whole like, oh, it looks like a blue marble.
No.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
You're not going to be able to get. You got to go to the moon.
I'll wait till everybody's favorite billionaire,
Mm-hmm.
D. Trump, gets into the game, and he'll have a fabulous
Yeah,
experience.
he'll have a real cut rate.
Yeah, but he'll have one that's way better than the
Way
rest.
classier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a luxury experience, and I'll get to see the whole round blue marble.
Yeah. How much would you pay to go to the moon?
To go to the moon?
Yeah.
I would just hand over my paychecks week after week for the rest of my life.
So you would just live on the street from then on.
Yeah. Well, I'd live on the moon.
Well, so you want a one-way ticket to the moon?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in fairness, you probably wouldn't be able to keep a job once you're on the moon.
I'd telecommute.
Damn, it's like
I'd work from home.
It takes like it doesn't take. It takes a few seconds for signals to go back and forth. So yeah, I guess you could telecommute from the moon.
All right, thank you. Oh, thank you for letting me telecommute from the moon.
You get a lot.
Boss.
You get a lot more work done without as much gravity and no atmosphere too.
Yeah, so
from
much
what
less
I understand,
distraction.
that's mostly what's holding you back at work right now is the atmosphere and the increased gravity.
Yeah.
When Scott Kelly came back, Tim, he was an inch and a half taller.
Yeah, but was he like? Could he walk?
He could walk. He said he felt fine, or like right when he got back, and then it was like the next day that he was like, "Oh God, what have I done?"
Well, they exercise up. Like I feel like the first few times they went up there, they were like, like they didn't think about.
No, they
that.
were smoking cigarettes
Yeah.
and it was the go-go 50s and 60s.
Yeah. They had space flight attendants in their mini skirts.
Tim, it used to be a big deal to go to space. People would wear suits. They what?
Nothing. Sorry.
No, he did say though that like one thing that he didn't expect, because he had been up for 6 months before.
Sure.
So he was like, I'm no spring chicken to this.
Yeah. That's why it's like I don't think it was an easy thing that he did.
Yeah.
But it's just like a year. It's like when somebody's like
it's not like they ambush somebody in the middle of the night, woke him up out of bed, like, "Oh, you're going to space."
Let's
And
say
he had never been there
somebody I know
Mm-hmm.
like starts running, right? And they're like, "Hey, guess what, Tim? I'm gonna run a half marathon."
Right.
I'd be like, "Great,
Yeah.
great job! Oh, awesome, man!" And then he comes back, he's like, "I ran a half marathon." I'd be like, "Oh, it's awesome!
You
I'm
set
very
out to
proud
do
of you."
something,
Yeah,
and you
he
did
did it. And then like a year or two later, he's like, "Oh, guess what? I ran a marathon."
You'd be
I'm
like-
not gonna be like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "Yeah, wow,
But what if he's
that's
like-
really good. I know that you're capable of it because you ran that half marathon, and yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure."
but what if that person's like, and guess what? Nobody's ever run a marathon before. I'm the first one.
I'd be like, "I think you're lying. I've
Well,
seen
what if
on
they-
television
what if-
every year, thousands of people. It's
What-
televised."
What if 2 years later, though, they were like, guess what? I ran the longest anyone's ever run.
I'd probably call them a liar.
What if he was like, no, look at this newspaper. They did it. They wrote a story
Oh, I'm
about
supposed
it.
to believe the media now, Tom?
That's the right
Those
answer.
jokers in the media?
Damn, I was just checking.
All right,
I was
thank you.
just
We're on the
making-
same page here.
I was just making sure that you hadn't lost sight of the end game here.
Yeah.
He said, though, that when he came back, one thing he didn't expect was everything hurt. Like his skin was super sensitive because his skin hadn't really been touching anything for a year. So you could like go up.
By it.
You could go up to him and like stroke his arm. He'd be like, "Ow! I have
Yikes.
space disease. Stop."
So all those people that were rubbing his head for good luck, his
Yeah,
bald head.
they were really doing a number on him.
Uh-huh.
They had no idea. He said, too, that it's very hard to sleep up there because you're just floating around. That you would think, like, oh, this is great. But
No, I bet it's like a waterbed you think is going to be great, too,
Right.
but it's just like, come on, man.
yeah, until somebody with high heels goes to jump on it, and you're like, no, my waterbed. And then kaboom.
You know, that happened to you once, and you won't stop friggin' talking about it.
And then the guy downstairs is like, what's that noise? And then all of a sudden, a big waterfall.
Yeah.
Right after the guy downstairs finished putting all of his huge paper mache diorama together, and it finally dried. What's that? No, Oh, there's a little drip coming from upstairs. Wonder if there's anything to do with that woman I saw with high heels going up there.
Tom, why are you doing this?
What? I'm just giving a hypothetical. So he didn't know that.
You can't like strap yourself down to
sleep. You
can
strap yourself, but it makes sense because think about when you lay down and go to sleep. One of the best feelings is laying down and like your body sinks into the mattress. That never happens in space.
Yeah, I guess.
You're just always floating around. And you would think that'd be super comfortable because you're like, yeah, I can sleep in any position. But then you wake up.
They don't have like a gyroscope up there, right?
No, that's only in like science fiction movies. We don't have anything like big enough to do that yet.
Can't wait. That's when I'll go to space. That's when I'll pay 20 grand.
You'll go to space when you don't have to experience zero gravity.
Not all the time. And I get to stay up there for weeks.
Yeah, well, you could because then...
If I could vacation in space...
Well, that's it. That's the next...
To sit in a thing and then come down an hour later and be like, for a few minutes I was weightless, that's cool. Yeah, and to be like, and I was in space and I saw things. I saw horrible things that I'll never discuss. But like... That's not worth like like half a year's salary or something.
Once again, Tim, you're just thinking about what can I tell people? What can I impress them with?
No, but that's what you're saying. You're saying like, oh, you got the experience of going to space.
Yeah.
And I'd like to just understand what you believe the experience.
I think it would be like a spiritual experience. You would look down.
Well, see, here's the difference between you and me, Tom. When I was a child, as you know, I went to heaven.
Right. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
I fell out of the tree, hit my head.
Yeah, and you went to heaven.
I went to heaven for...
You came back and you told everybody it was for real.
I came back and I wrote that book. So, like, to you, to me, when you're telling me, oh, I went to space...
You're like, no big whoop, I've been to heaven.
Yeah. Oh, I went to heaven for free. All I had to do was fall out of a tree, hit my head on a rock.
That little boy ever come up with, like, a sequel like hell is for real?
If I have a kid,
the boy who went to heaven too. Hell is for real.
If I have a kid, I'm encouraging him to
go to hell.
No, to lie like this kid's parents encouraged him to lie, or put
I don't think he lied. I think he just exaggerated.
I
they
think
exaggerated.
This kid is a liar.
That kid can't be a boy anymore. He's got to be a man by now, right?
I mean, one of these heaven is for real kids because there's a few of them.
Right.
One of them
maybe they've all
recanted. One of them was like,
"Oh, really?
That didn't happen. My family pressured me to do it."
Now, do you think his family pressure him, or do you think like an angel came and was like, "Yeah, you got a big mouth. You better recant all that stuff, or else guess what? You're coming back, and this time it's gonna be a one-way ticket."
No, they threatened to not. Because if they were like, if I knew heaven was real, and then they came to me and was like, hey, cool it, or we're going to bring you back to paradise forever.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right. Okay, just bring me to paradise forever.
But we might send you to the other place.
Well, if they threatened me with that, well then
But then you'd have another book in you if you got out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd be like, yes.
I'd tell my kid to be like, say you went to hell for a minute, come back and be like, it was terrible. I saw all the bad people.
Oh, the devil was there. You could be like, you know what? I'm not going to recant it. You can send me to hell, but just give me a minute to say goodbye. And while that's going on, you tie a rope around your leg and you tie it to something real sturdy.
Yeah.
And then, all right, I'm ready to go. And then once you've had your fill of hell, yank on
which
the rope.
I don't think will be too long. To be honest.
No.
Kettle drums.
That's what you think hell is?
Dong, 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 dong.
Well, it's only when you get there.
Yeah.
It's not every day.
I don't know. So you work to a rhythm.
They are going to work on space hotels, though.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, who? Elon Musk? Elon Musk is the guy that I think is, like, at the end of the day, I think Richard Branson's kind of like a huckster.
Yeah,
kind of like
bit.
A P.T. Barnum kind of fella, right?
I think he's just got so many different businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jeff Bezos has some sort of plan to like ruin the earth and like this will be people's only way to
well, he's
kind
of said like like part of my he actually has like a very dystopian view of the future where he thinks in the not
he's gonna ruin it.
well, he thinks not in the near future, but the
robots will do everything and nobody will have jobs.
Well, he basically
and all our products will be made by slaves.
No, they'll be made by robots. He's basically said that he thinks in the future we'll send poor people to another planet to make things, and like Earth will just get rezoned as like residential, but only for rich people.
Cool.
I mean, we won't be around for that.
Yeah.
But Jeff Bezos will.
He will. I think Musk is doing some stuff, right? Because like they just tried to land a rocket on like a satellite or something, right?
They landed it on like a barge.
Oh. Like on Earth?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they landed on a satellite.
How would you land a rocket on a satellite? He might have launched a satellite. Is that what you mean?
No, I thought they were trying to land a rocket on a satellite.
No, how would you land something on something in space?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, wow, this is...
He's invented space gravity.
Yeah. Well, no, like hooking it up to it.
Docking.
Yeah, docking.
He might have done that because that's what like the space hotels are going to be like the International Space Station. And it's going to be like, you go up there, you go to the Hilton.
Yeah, how much would it suck, though, if like there were crappy people in your tiny space hotel? Like, you'd have to book the whole hotel.
Well, I mean, they're all going to be rich people up there, too.
Yeah.
And you're gonna.
So there you go.
Well, but
snooty.
Well,
Rudies.
I'm saying, but if you're up there, you're also going to be rich unless you won a contest.
Yeah, but rich people all hate each other.
Yeah, but they at least pretend to like each other.
No, look at the way they treat each other at the Republican debates. They're yelling at each other.
That's just for show. They get backstage and they're like, we fooled them.
We'll all do the same thing if we're elected, right?
Yeah.
Make us not pay any money.
Yeah. And then continue work on the space hotel.
And the prison planet for all the poor people where they'll make our clothes.
Do you want to solve a problem, Tim?
Tom?
Yes.
Oh, welcome to the Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems. I'm Tim.
I'm Tom.
We're going to solve your problems. People might have noticed a brand new theme song.
Oh, really? Already?
Yeah, right?
Maybe.
I mean, it certainly is not the old theme song.
Yes.
Which, I think ran its course. I know everybody loved it. This one comes to us from a guy that calls himself Keith.
Well, I mean, it's probably his name.
No.
My nickname's Keith.
Anyway, he's from South Africa, Tom.
Okay.
He said, I have a problem that I think needs some of your most trusted advice. Without your help, I'll surely never solve it. That was just an unnecessary,
a bit dramatic
preamble, too. Cut it down. I just threw out 5 emails because they were just too goddamn long to read. And this guy, Keith, is like, oh, I had a bunch of...
Well, he doesn't know.
About 3 weeks ago, I noticed that my roommate, let's call him Jason because that's his name, had stopped showering daily. After a few days of casual observation, I realized he'd stopped showering altogether. I started leaving things in specific ways in the shower to check if he wasn't sneaking in the odd midnight cleansing. He wasn't sneaking in the odd midnight cleansing. But alas, it's been about 3 weeks now. I'm 100% convinced he still hasn't scrubbed his now presumably filthy body.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do to calmly and casually suggest he at least shower occasionally, as it's affecting the general aroma of our house, which now smells like the corridor of a whorehouse. Deodorant sprayed onto sweat. Is that what a...
I don't think that's what a whorehouse smells like.
Please help your friend in potpourri, Sir Keith.
I mean, maybe it's what a whorehouse smells like. There is like a lot of sweating going on.
Yeah. From all the
sex, you see.
Right.
from all the kissing.
So his roommate.
Yes.
First of all, I applaud Keith's ingenuity in sleuthing.
Wow.
He's a pretty good sleuth.
You know what? He didn't get into details about how he's so sure.
What do you mean?
Like, what has he left in the shower that he's sure nobody else has been in there?
Here's what I would do. Here's what I assume he did.
All right.
Let's say the other guy, everybody's got their own shampoo, conditioner, body wash.
Uh-huh.
Right? Maybe he left his shampoo, conditioner, and body wash kind of boxing in Jason's body wash.
So he would have to move them out of the way to get them.
And now here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
He balanced one of them strangely so that, like, Jason wouldn't normally put it back down there that way.
Maybe. But, that's tricky.
I know it's tricky, and that's why I'm applauding
but I guess
his efforts. I think it's a good thing that he's done.
Well, you don't know that that's what he's done. But I guess coupled with the fact that he can smell this guy's smelling badly.
Right.
I mean, I feel like for guys and for guy roommates, it's not inappropriate to be like, hey, are you not showering anymore?
Yeah.
Could you? Because if he's not showering, again, needs more info here. Because there are two reasons why people don't shower. One is laziness, like I don't want to. And the other is like some kind of I read a thing.
Or like depression. But like, let's pretend it's not depression.
Right.
Because then we're not the guys to...
No. I don't understand. Like, showering is so much fun.
Showering is the best 35 minutes of my day.
It's the best use of your time. Tim, I should show you. I have like a home office set up in my shower nowadays.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, Tom. I disagree with you.
Oh,
because I know you have a. You've told me you have a waterproof case for your phone.
I have a waterproof case for my phone. I have a waterproof Bluetooth speaker with a suction cup that's stuck to my shower wall.
Okay.
I got that in there. I got a mirror, a shower mirror now in the shower.
Uh-huh.
I've got a notepad with a waterproof notepad and a waterproof pencil in the shower. Those are also suction cupped to the wall. And I just got a shower caddy, so now I can put all my things in there. And I feel like I have another thing that I can use in the shower. Like another, Do
you have a seat like an old an indigent person?
No, I feel like I've got like something along the lines of like a cup that I can use in there, so water doesn't, but I can still drink.
Yeah,
but that's not the case. I don't. Maybe those are all the things that I have that I can use in the shower.
Tom, my thing about the shower is I relish it as the time where I can't.
Right.
Like, it's just me, my thoughts, some soapy water.
And some H2O.
Yeah, exactly. Just you can't reach me. You can't. I can't listen to anything.
Well, I don't take my phone in the shower. I put it in a waterproof case and put it like on the sink. But that's only because sometimes I'll start listening to something through my waterproof Bluetooth speaker. I'll be like, I don't want to listen to this.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, now I'm stuck in the shower. What am I going to do? So
I also don't like I've listened to like podcasts and music in the past.
Yeah.
I don't like the acoustics of a bathroom with all that tile. Like it's.
Oh,
like,
I moved my speaker around a bit to find the best place to put it.
I haven't been able to find an optimal place. I used to take a lot of baths.
You gotta get an acoustical engineer in there. You used to take a lot of baths.
Yeah, I love baths.
Ugh.
But like when like high school and like at my parents' house because they have like a nice big bathtub.
Right.
Not like in New York City. Like
nobody has a nice big bathtub.
Yeah, exactly. So I used to be like, it'd be nice music while I'm reading
candles,
in the bath. Yeah. The music is just like
some wine.
It's so tinny and echoey. It's just like this is not the relaxing situation I wanted. So it's just I like a shower where it's just You know what? I shower the same way my forefathers showered.
They didn't shower though. They didn't have like.
All right, I showered the same way I showered in 1987.
Yeah.
In 2016. It's the one constant in my life. Just
Not
the
me.
same shower.
My showering's evolved.
Yeah, I don't need to innovate with technology.
Well,
That's disgusting.
Enjoy life in the slow lane.
I will for that 35 to
maybe this guy Keith, maybe he should set up a home office in the shower, and that will encourage this guy to.
Do you think that's why Jason hasn't showered?
Yeah,
he's like,
maybe he's just
gotta
busy.
Be too productive.
Yeah, he's just way too busy to fit it into his schedule.
I have a better plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a lot less money. Balloons. Water balloons.
Oh, water balloons.
Yeah.
Filled with soapy water?
Yeah. Right? That's pretty great, right? Like
it's still going to make it like a real big mess.
No.
Get them outside?
Yeah. Depending on your setup, if because he says there's a house, right?
Yeah.
So maybe there's a yard.
Yeah.
And you go like, oh, water balloon
fight. And then he's like, why is there soap in all these?
Yeah. And but like,
you
guess
better
what?
Scrub it off.
There's soapy water,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's just water. And don't make
those
it
ones are for later.
Yeah, and don't make it unpleasant. Use like warm water. Like be a nice guy.
Yeah.
But just get you and a couple other friends, because you're gonna have to do it quick.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to be bam, bam, bam with the soapy, bam, bam, bam with the cleans,
Yeah.
and then get out of there.
Yeah, you're gonna have to label like rinse on the water ones. Yeah.
No, I think maybe you have two people
Mm-hmm.
on soapy, 2 people.
So
on,
4 people you need for this.
Yeah.
And how are you gonna explain to him afterwards why you did?
It was
what
all
you
in
did?
good fun. Who doesn't love a good water balloon?
It was
fight?
all in good fun.
If you do it quickly enough,
He won't
he
notice
might
the
notice
soap.
that there's soap in there.
Yeah.
You know
but
what?
if you
Have
do it
more-
too quick, the soap's not going to do anything.
It'll do enough for his purposes.
You got to figure out a way that you can hit him with the soapy ones and then scrub them.
Yeah. Tickle fight.
Tickle fight. Oh, well, what about this?
Who doesn't love a good water balloon fight?
Pillow fight, but the pillows are giant sponges.
Ah,
Yeah.
All right. Slumber party.
Yeah,
Send
do
out
it during a
invites for
slumber
love
party.
Yeah.
And it's just like, hey, it's a slumber party prank.
Yeah. That's what happens.
It's bound to happen.
Yeah. What else? You can put
How are you going to dry them off?
yeah.
Let's build a towel fort. And then, oh no, the towel fort collapsed.
When you should put a whole bunch of shampoo in your hand,
Mm-hmm.
and then be like, "Hey, you're doing a great job, buddy. Hang in there, sport." And like
And
a
rub his
father's
head?
touch. Yeah.
Or wait till he falls asleep, put shampoo in his hand, and then tickle his nose, tickle his head.
Yeah, tickle the top of his head.
And then he goes
Tickle
to
his scalp.
He goes
Yeah.
to reach it, and shampoo in your hair. Only one way to get that out. Lather it up and rinse.
Yeah. And how did the shampoo get in my hair? Nobody knows.
Nobody
because You've
Everybody's going to keep their mouth shut.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody. Here's what you need. You need good friends,
Mm-hmm.
some soap, some water, some sneakiness, some balloons, some giant sponges in the shapes of pillows.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's that easy. It ain't hard.
Or just be like, hey, man, why aren't you showering? It's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell
Is there
me
a reason why you're not showering?
Forward me whatever Reddit thread this came from.
Because I got to tell you, this house stinks.
Yeah.
I've been Febrezing it like crazy.
Yeah.
And it still smells like a whorehouse. You know how that smells, don't you?
Or maybe take them to the whorehouse and be like, you see how this smells the same as our home?
Yeah.
Do you want to live in a whore's house?
If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us, thecompleteguideeverything@gmail.com. Thank you, Keith, for your letter.
Yeah.
You can find out more information about the show at tcgt.com. You can support us by going to tcgt.com/Amazon for any of your Amazon purchasing.
Will you be able to buy a ticket on
I'm sure one day
Amazon
you will.
Space?
So if you're going to buy a ticket to space in a couple of years, keep tcgt.com/Amazon in mind.
It brings you to the same Amazon that you know and love.
But now with tickets to space.
And now with money for us.
Man, we would get so much commission on
Yeah.
a space ticket.
It doesn't cost you anything extra, and we sure would appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who does their shopping through that. That's a very nice thing that you're doing.
Yes. And same thing for all of our patrons on tcgt.com/pledge, our Patreon patrons, where you can find fun stuff like weekly episodes of Amazing Facts.
This week's amazing fact is about gross, scary animal
Yeah.
facts. And my fact is pretty gross.
Yeah. Mine could get gross under the right circumstances.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/complete guide. Check out our Reddit, reddit.com/r/tcgte.
That one is good. I like that.
Thank you, Tim. That one is good. I like that.
I like it. I like going on the Reddit thing.
Yeah.
Kat from Edinburgh does it. She kind
Moderates
of
it.
She moderates it. We technically moderate it too, but
We're all equals.
yeah. But Kat does all the work, and she comes up with cool stuff. Other people come up with cool stuff, and hey Tom, it's a fun little burgeoning community over there.
It really is.
Yeah.
And you can follow us on Twitter @Complete Guide. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram @Tom Reynolds.
You can follow me on those things @your pal Tim.
Man, you had deer in the headlights look in your eye
I
when
just
I
started thinking
when I
about
threw
something
to
else.
you. Tim,
I haven't been listening to a lot of the things.
Yeah,
Well,
apparently.
I'm sorry. I don't want to. I don't want that to be the case. I'm not. I don't want. I realize that's disrespectful, and I don't want to be disrespectful. And
Tim, you've gotten up and left a bunch of times, just like the teens at the movie theater.
oh God, those goddamn teens! Just sit for 90 minutes and enjoy a film.
They had to pee. Was it the same teens getting...
Yeah. Oh, it was the same teens, Tom. Oh, you thought I was... oh.
I like how I didn't notice this at the movie theater. You didn't notice anything I said while we were recording.
I don't even know what movie we saw.
Yeah. You were
Too
just so
busy,
distracted by the teens.
Yeah, teen peeping.
All right. See you next week.